Hi, I'm Donzel Leggett, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the book starter for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He is a debut author and he's the author of the book or the upcoming book, Make Your Destiny Happen. No other than Mr. Donzel Leggett. Welcome to Book 101, Mr. Donzel. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I missed?
First of all, thank you, Daniel, for having me on your platform. It's an awesome platform for authors to introduce their content. And I'm so happy and proud to be able to introduce my upcoming book, Make Your Destiny Happen. As Daniel said, my name is Donzel Leggett. I'm originally from Key West, Florida, here in the United States. It's the southernmost point of the continental United States, actually closer to the island of Cuba than it is to the mainland of Florida. A very unique place to grow up. Grew up there. I ended up leaving there and going to this place called Purdue University in Indiana, the state of Indiana. It's a big famous engineering university around the world. I was there playing college football for about 4 or 5 years, and then from there started my career as an executive. Spent 32 years as a corporate executive and Fortune 200 global company, and for the last 16 years, I led the global or international supply chain type aspects and got to travel the world. I've been to almost 50 countries, spent a lot of time in both South America, Asia, Europe, and Australia, and was able to develop a leadership model that I use for myself and for leading the organization that generated tremendous results, but really helped make a difference in people's lives. And I wanted to take that and put it into this book. I'm married, been married for 31 years in September, have four adult children, and again, very, very happy to be on this platform with Daniel.
Mr. Donzel Leggett. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. And let's talk about Make Your Destiny Happen. The title Make Your Destiny Happen is a very active and implies agency. How does it differ from simply finding your destiny?
Yeah, Daniel, thank you for that question. And the full title of the book, Make Your Destiny Happen, Take Control of Your Life with the Destiny Development Delta Model for Transformational Success. So our book is really is differentiated specifically from other sort of self-help models in that it not only, first of all, it what transforms your personal leadership. I believe that everyone should see themselves as a leader. It doesn't matter whether you're a podcast host like Daniel or a former executive like myself, or if you're a cashier at a grocery store or a carpenter or maybe even a stay-at-home parent or a student. You are a leader. You are the leader of your life. And so the first part of the Destiny Development Delta model is to help you recognize that fact that you are the leader of your life and learn how to transform your leadership to take charge. But once you do that, you have to then have a roadmap to follow to make things happen, to identify what you want and make it happen. That's where the magic comes in is we then have the secondary model that's built in that's all about helping operationalize that leadership, that big step you took to take control of your agency. Now you've done that, we provide a roadmap that's step by step to help you follow to identify the destiny that you want, put a life plan together, and then take the steps to make it happen. And knowing that we live in a very dynamic world, every second something's changing, whether it's AI, whether it's what's happening with Bitcoin, whether it's happening on the political scene or whatever. It's very chaotic. It's very dynamic. We have to always be prepared to adjust, and our model is all about helping you do that. Keep the eye on the prize, the vision of your destiny, but also continue to develop yourself and make the adjustments required to stay on track. So it's transforming your leadership to take agency and control of your life as the leader of your life And then secondly, providing you a roadmap to make it happen. I haven't seen, I've been around for a long time, a model that does both of those things in a more effective way than what mine does. Does that answer your question, Daniel?
Definitely and truly, truly empowering, Mr. Donzel. Beautifully articulated. What was the defining personal experience or realization that led you to write this book?
There were several that led me to the book. I've been planning this book for a long time, and part of the a big part of the book is all about building a life plan. And I built my life plan early in my life, back in my early 20s, and there were a couple of incidents that occurred that really made me think I had to build this life plan. The biggest one was, quite honestly, the birth of my son, my first child. My wife and I were not married at the time. She was my girlfriend, and we became pregnant. And I was not expecting that. She was not expecting that. And I realized right at that moment that I needed to be prepared to change my life. And be prepared to do whatever I needed to do to not only be successful for myself, but for now other people. I hadn't really thought of it that way at that time. I was pretty young. So that was kind of the initial journey to build a life plan. I put that life plan together, reviewed it with my, at that time, girlfriend, talked to her about what she wanted for her life. And then she and I came together and decided, you know what, we can make this happen as a couple, as a group. I shared it with her and she was aligned. She shared hers. We were aligned. And so as time went on, I started implementing the life plan. I started putting other tools together to help me along the way. But then as I started leading in my career, I realized that I could apply this same principle to, the organizations I was leading. And we started getting tremendous success. And that's when I had the idea, you know what, if this continues, I should put this in writing because I saw it impacting people's lives. There's so many stories in this book that illustrate and talk about people that were impacted, incredible stories. So when I saw that impact it was having on people's lives, making them feel better about themselves, to take agency for themselves, while at the same time driving business results, said, we can do both. We can have business results and help individual people achieve their destinies. Why not put that in writing? So I started taking notes and planning that once I kind of retired from my corporate role, I would write this book. And that's what I did.
How do you define destiny in the context of your book? Is it fixed endpoint or something more fluid that we shape along the way?
It's first of all, it depends on you. So that's the first thing we all have to recognize. And that's why I always say you are the leader of your life and you can make your destiny happen. But you have to decide what your destiny is. There's a lot of people that say, people's destinies are determined and anything can happen at any time. And why even work on that? Why worry about that? It's just wherever you end up. And you could certainly see things that way. I don't. I see that it's on me to decide what I want to do with my life and where I want to go. So in the book, it helps articulate a process for each person to decide and figure out what they want to do long term with their lives. But it can't just be from a career standpoint. It's got to be from a family standpoint, community impact. What are you going to do to help other people spiritually? How do you make sure that your well being is strong? All those things have to come together. What good is it do for you if you're a tremendous success from a business standpoint, but your personal life's a disaster? That's not great, right? So people have to figure out what do they want for themselves. And then again, the world changes, circumstances change, we change over time. So, yes, it has to be some fluidity to that. The good news is, at least if you start off with a thought and a plan and a process, you can make adjustments. That's a lot different than letting 10, 15, 20 years go by without having any thought process of where you want to go and then realizing you're not on track to where you want to be or you're not happy. So it's about establishing what you want, establishing a plan, and then understanding, hey, based on circumstances, you can make some changes and some tweaks. I've done that. It's not exactly where I wanted to do and what I wanted to be, but it's exactly where I wanted to be based on the changes that I saw coming and the things and decisions that I made that best position me to be where I want to be long term. So it's up to you and your agency. Best thing though is to have a plan in place and a vision in place.
Mr. Donzel, let's talk about the content and framework of the book. Your book present a system for taking control of one's path. Could you walk
Yes.
us through the first crucial step or principle in your framework?
First crucial step in the framework is establishing authenticity and assuredness in yourself. It comes down to you are the leader of your life. You have to take control. To do that, you have to be authentic with yourself. You have to really make a decision on who you are. Do you accept who you are? Are you willing to face, yes, where you're strong, but where your weaknesses are, where you're not that great, and where you need to improve? Are you willing to look at yourself in the mirror and admit where you've made mistakes, things you have not been proud of, and make decisions and improvement processes to work on those going forward? Because if you're authentic with yourself, it allows you to stand up. It allows you to try to move forward. But then you have to be assured in yourself. You have to build confidence in yourself. And to do that, again, you have to have the agency, the courage, the thought process to say, yes, I've made these mistakes in the past, but I'm willing to move forward. And then you have to be able to look forward and say, here's where I want to be. So it's about being authentic, being assured in yourself. That's the first step. Once you take that step, then you can start moving forward with the vision of where you want to be. I've met with, you know, over 10,000 people, one to one, 10,000. I've spent over 50,000 hours in one to one discussions. If you add small group discussions, it's over 100,000 hours. So I've spent a lot of time with people. And one of the questions I always ask them is, where do you want to be in 20 years? What do you think, Daniel, is the percentage of people who could answer that question? Less than 10%.
Hmm.
Very few people think long term of where they want to be. And so when I talk about this first step, it seems so simple, but I can tell you, very few people have an easy time truly looking at themselves in an authentic way to where they can present themselves authentically, where they have the courage to be themselves and to pursue what they want. And because of that, they also have a very difficult time thinking long term about where they want to be, what they want to do, what will make them happy across those spectrums I mentioned, not just career, but family, financial, impact on the community, spiritually as well. So it comes down to authenticity, assuredness, and thinking long term about yourself and your agency. Very few people want to do that. That's another thing to differentiate our model. It forces us to take that step.
Very well said, Mr. Donzel. Truly empowering. A lot of people feel stuck by external circumstances, their job, finances, and family obligations. How does your approach help someone break through that feeling of being trapped?
Yeah, I have one of the things I talk about in the book is there's three different sort of characteristics of people who I feel are trapped, and these are what I call trapped on their own of their own circumstances. This is different than other people. There are people in the world that literally are captive. There are people in the world who are in very difficult circumstances and under people's thumb. To me, it's on us. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote this book to influence others who can do something to help those people. But then there's others of us who really are in a jail of our own creation. We're kind of trapped in our own creation. And there's three categories. One, I call them the hamster on the flywheel. And these are people that, again, they think they have a long-term objective, a long-term goal, and they think they have a plan, but they never were authentic about with themselves. So they maybe took what their father was going to do, what their mother told them to do, or something else that they thought would be good for them, and so they just keep working at it, working at it, working at it. Then 10 years go by and they realize, yeah, I've been doing all of this and running really fast trying to get there. So yeah, I'm working, but why am I not feeling happy? It's because they never were authentic with themselves. So these are people who just keep working thinking that they can just keep outwork vision, but you still have to have a goal where you want to go, and they don't have it. Then there's the people who I call are like the dandelion leaves, the dandelion seeds that float around, and these people just kind of float. And okay, I talked to Daniel, and Daniel had me on a podcast. He said I was good at this. I'll do that. Then 3 days later, one of their friends tells them, you know what, you should do this, and they do that. And then they read an article a week later. Oh, I should do that. And they just keep floating from place to place, thinking that they're on the right track. Only chance is going to dictate where they end up. And then there are people who are truly afraid. They're afraid of AI. They're afraid of the government. They're afraid that anything that they do is going to backfire. They're afraid of failure. So they just don't do anything. They just kind of stand, kind of silent, try to stay under the radar, and try not to cause any waves and hope that their destiny comes true. All of them are trapped in this cycle of kind of no destiny control. And the only way to get out of that is, again, to start off with being honest with yourself, being authentic, going through the process of building your confidence to take control of your life, and then following the process that we have. Number one, identify where you want to go, inspire yourself to make that happen. Make sure that you establish a vision that's clear where you want to go, that excites you. Start engaging other people, because you're going to need others' help, and you're going to want to help others, and then continually develop yourself. Every time a challenge comes up, be able to overcome that challenge. The book lays this out in a very clear and articulate way, and provides stories, so that you're not just reading concepts, you're reading stories that bring it to life, so that you can escape this cycle of no destiny control where you feel trapped.
Mr. Donzel, as an debut author, what are your short-term and long-term goals?
Number short term and long term, to be honest, it's to help at least one person achieve their destiny. If I can do that, I will feel so powerful and redeemed and happy about writing this book. That's goal number one. If I can impact one person to change their lives and achieve their destiny, I'm feeling great. Now, would I like it to be a lot more than that? Absolutely. But my first goal is at least one person. Now, longer term, what I'd like to do is be able to make sure that this becomes a book that's well known around the world. Like I said, I've traveled the world, spent a lot of time in China, spent a lot of time in South Korea, a lot of time across Europe and in Brazil and in places in South America, as well as the United States as well. I'd love to see this book translated to those different languages. I like to be able to go to different places and speak to people, and do large events where people can hear this message and be impacted. That's really what I'm looking to do, is take this message to the masses, so that people in this world where we got a few kind of at the top who are the multi-billionaires who seem to control everything, and everyone else kind of feels a little bit powerless. I want everyone to feel the agency, that no matter where you sit in this world, no matter what your financial situation is, no matter where you feel like your parents are, you can achieve what you want. Your destiny can be made to happen if you take control of your life. So that's what I'm looking for.
Good luck to your goals, Mr. Donzel, and looking forward for more success. And what would be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be an author like you?
Just do it. That's a term that we've heard a lot, but I would say that it takes patience. Um, it takes an idea. It takes determination. It actually takes a lot of the model that I talk about in this book. Um, Transforming your leadership, take control of your life, and then follow the roadmap to operationalize it and make it happen. Literally, that's what it would take. But everyone has a story. Everyone has a story. And if you simply take the time to start writing little notes about your story, you'll be surprised at how little time it takes to turn that into a book. And a book could be 20 pages. A book could be 100 pages. It could be 300 pages. But it's your book. It's your story. So take the first step, start writing down your thoughts, your experiences, your story. and then start fleshing it out if that's what you want to do. Now, you may not want to write a book, and that's fine too. Again, my objective is to get at least one of you to take control of your life and make your destiny happen. If one of you can do that, whether it's writing a book, whether it's establishing your own company, or whether it's just being the best parent you can be, the best person you can be, whatever you define your destiny as being, this book's a success.
Very, very empowering advice. Mr. Donzel, and can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Say it one more time, Daniel.
Can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
That influenced my journey. Yes.
Yes.
So, of course, aside from my book that I've been working on for a long time, there are a couple of classic books that I mentioned quite a bit. One is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. I don't know, Daniel, if you've ever read The Art of War, but it's an ancient book that no one knows for sure if Sun Tzu wrote the book, but we all attribute it to him. It's a book of military genius, but the lessons in this book are common sense lessons for life. And so that certainly is one of the books that made an impact on me that I definitely would recommend is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Old book, ancient book, but very powerful book. And it's a short read as well.
Yes. Highly recommended, people. Please read it. It's something else.
Yeah.
And thank you for that recommended book, Mr. Dancel. And if you could hope for one key takeaway to stick with every reader of your book, what would it be?
You are the leader of your life. No one can take that away from you. You have agency. Use it. You're the leader of your life. You can make your destiny happen. If you need some assistance in doing it, check out our book, Make Your Destiny Happen. It'll be available starting August 26th. I don't know when this podcast will air, but it'll be available August 26th. You also can listen to my podcast. I have a very short podcast. It's just me. I don't have any guests. It's 5 or 6 minutes. It's called the Make Your Destiny Happen Petite Podcast. I take one lesson out of the book and I explain it, and then I bring it to life with a story. In this first season, I'm using stories and lessons from my dad. He passed away about 6 months ago, so it's a tribute to him. I'm also on Facebook. You can find me. You can also find me on Instagram and LinkedIn. You can Google Make Your Destiny Happen. You'll find us. Our website is right up here right now. Thank Daniel has it on the screen. You type in makeyourdestinyhappen.com, you'll get there. So look for us, send us any comments, ask us any questions. I love to engage with you. But remember, you are the leader of your life and you can make your destiny happen.
Definitely. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, Mr. Dancel, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast Law 101 and mental health 101. Love letters in the third season, and movie 101 review and music 101 in fourth season, and science 101 and sex 101 in its first season.
Daniel is a busy man, as you can
Busy,
see. This is
busy.
impressive.
Yes,
He's making his
busy.
destiny happen, and I love it.
Busy, busy indeed. Please do listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Dunso, now that you put this manifesto out into the world, what is the next destiny you are making happen for yourself?
Well, right now we're in the middle of remodeling our kind of final home here, and it's been a process. We started last November, so we're going on what our eighth month here, and it's a process, but it's been really great to see everything come to fruition. And one of the things that in my life that's important is to make my family happy, starting with my wife. We've been married almost 31 years, and she's been the number one support person for me since we met. And so, doing everything I can to ensure that she's happy because of all the things she's done to support me is really, really critical in terms of my destiny and how my well-being is strengthened. So continuing with this remodel and making it my wife's dream, that's my number one objective, aside from getting this book published right now.
Mr. Donzel Leggett, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So can you please invite our listeners to support your upcoming book, Make Your Destiny Happen?
Thank you so much, Daniel. What a pleasure to be on with you. Again, this platform is tremendous. It's awesome to see the great work you're doing with all the other podcasts. Best of luck to you, my friend.
Thank you, Mr. Donzel. I'm inviting you to my other podcast called Abstract Essay, and let's talk about your writing process over there. I'm gonna reach out this week. And yes, people, let's support Mr. Donzel Leggett, because if you support him, for sure, more and more empowering books like this to come. So, Mr. Donzel, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
More to come, people. See you soon.